Kurinji Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
Kurinji Educational Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.com.
Students, now in this video we will discuss regarding living state. So here how generally organisms maintain living state, that particular point or that particular information we will discuss, and so remaining information we will discuss or we will have regarding how enzymes will get function or how enzymes will involve in catabolic activities or the metabolic activities. Now let us see one by one. So in this video completely I will explain regarding living state and each and every minute points also we will cover under enzymes. Okay, now let us start to discuss the video. Side heading is the living state. So that is living state. Now chemical compounds in living organisms also known as metabolites or biomolecules. So means what are the chemical compounds? What are the chemical compounds which are present in the living organisms? So such kind of chemical compounds are simply we will be considering as metabolites or biomolecules. Point means chemical compounds. What are the chemical compounds are present in the living organisms? All such kind of chemical compounds are simply we can give a name to them as metabolites or biomolecules. So these metabolites or the biomolecules are present at concentrations characteristic of each of them. So means here what is the point here we have to understand? In living organisms there are different types of chemical compounds with defined concentrations or with characteristics concentrations. Means here suppose one particular chemical compound is there, means that value must be that maintains same that much of a value only, means it maintains a constant value, so it should not be decreased and it should not be increased. I hope you understood my point. For example, I will give you an example here. You see, for example, the blood concentration of glucose, okay, in a normal healthy individual will be 4.2 millimole by liter or up to 6.1 millimole per liter. So thereby here the glucose value in one healthy person or one normal person, there this much of value only must be there. So means 4.2 to 6.1 millimolar per liter. So thereby here suppose if it is decreased or if it is increased, means at the time, so that particular value we will be considering as abnormality. Okay, so means here what is the point here mainly we can understand means, so what are the biomolecules or what are the chemical compounds are there in the living organisms? 100% must maintain the characteristics concentrations. So such kind of characters or such kind of concentrations should not be decreased or should not be increased, must maintain ideal concentration. So here we have seen the glucose concentration in blood, we have seen this one, and while the hormones would be nanograms per ml. Okay, so thereby here hormones will be in nanograms. So hormones will be in nanograms, whereas glucose will be there in a millimolar per liter. So value will be 4.2 millimolar per liter to 6.1 millimolar per liter. Okay, ma. So these are all units. So try to remember. So in a NEET examination point of view, so it may help for identifying the correct statement and wrong statement. Okay, right. Now the most important fact of biological systems is that all living organisms exist in a steady state characterized by the concentrations of each of these biomolecules. Means here, what is a lengthy point here we can understand very clearly, means if living organisms are there, how these living organisms maintains the steady state, means here we are maintaining one particular state, means here we all human beings and we are all alive now. So means here we are alive means how we can say that word, when organisms or when chemical compounds maintains the proper concentration and all these kind of chemical compounds. So based on the situation, so how when these kind of chemical compounds involves in the chemical reactions, no, so based on that, so definitely we will be maintaining of steady state. Okay, suppose here all kind of chemical compounds or the biomolecules or the metabolites not properly involved in chemical reactions, means we will not be alive. A point you understood it. So thereby here what is the point now I am going to tell you is the most important fact of biological systems. What is that? All living organisms exist in steady state. So living organisms will be in steady state only. That is characterized by the concentration of each of these biomolecules. Means here suppose if you take one particular organism, that particular organism must maintain proper concentration of the chemical compounds. A point you understood. Suppose it will not maintain the proper concentration of the chemical compounds, means at the time that particular organism will be in danger. So a simple point, what is the point now I am going to give you is, so what are the biochemicals are there? What are the biochemicals are there in the living organisms? No, these biochemicals or these biomolecules concentration must be ideal. So means that should, as we seen before, this chemical concentration should not be decreased as well as should not be increased. So when these biomolecules will be in proper concentration, no, then only organisms will be in steady state. So otherwise definitely it leads to some kind of problematic conditions. Right. Now biomolecules are, so then now we are observing, sir, here biomolecules concentration must be ideal, should not be decreased or should not be increased. Okay, we are discussing. Then where we will observe this presence of these biomolecules, sir, means, so these are all biomolecules are present in metabolic flux or metabolic flux. Okay, so whatever may be the term of read, spelling is FLUX, metabolic flux. So now here the biomolecules are present in metabolic flux, and any chemical or a physical process, suppose if you see there now, that moves spontaneously to the equilibrium. So from here onwards inkoncham important. So the importance gradually increased. Okay, now listen carefully. Suppose if you take one chemical or physical process, one more time, suppose if you take any kind of a physical or the chemical process, if you see there, no, there the processes if you see, then definitely moves spontaneously to the equilibrium. Move spontaneously towards the equilibrium. Means here even for example if you take chemistry, so as we have seen before, on the left side, definitely substrates will be there, and the right side, products will be there. We have seen, so means here and here and equations must be like must get the equilibrium state, isn't it? So means likewise, if you take a physical process and if you take a chemical process, definitely moves spontaneously to equilibrium, and the steady state is a non-equilibrium state. Means here one point you try to remember, living organisms, once you see living organisms exist in a steady state, we see. Emma, but here what is the point here we are discussing? The steady state is a non-equilibrium state. Okay, so thereby here what is the point of him here mainly we can understand. No, here you see, one should remember from physics that systems are at equilibrium. Emma, so one we have to remember, or one we should remember, that is remember that from the physics point of view, so systems at equilibrium cannot perform the work. Emma, systems at equilibrium cannot perform the work. And as we see living organisms, if you see the living organisms work constantly. Now you see, as per physics, systems at equilibrium cannot perform the work. And here, as living organisms, if you see, they work continuously, and they cannot effort to reach the equilibrium. Okay, so here once you see, in a living organisms, suppose if you see, this is nalla understanding panikonga. Suppose if you take a living organisms point of view, work continuously. Again, in a living organisms, definitely, so the chemical reactions work continuously. Why sir here in a living organisms, biomolecules work continuously. Chemical reactions takes place continuously. Why sir means, so once you see, so effort to not to reach the equilibrium. So they cannot afford to reach the equilibrium. So here living organism chemical reactions should not, they cannot afford to reach the equilibrium. So hence the living state is a non-equilibrium. So means here if you take a living organisms, so they are living organisms are being alive means the chemical reactions are not coming to the state of equilibrium. That's why chemical reactions always will be in non-equilibrium steady state or non-equilibrium state. Point nalla save pannikonga. Suppose simply I'll tell you now one point nalla save pannikonga perfectly. Ipo physics point of view, chemistry point of view paathaga. Chemistry subject if you see there and chemical reactions definitely finally reaches to the what? Equilibrium state. Apart physics, if you see there physics subject point of view, chemical reactions will not be taken place or will not be occurred where at equilibrium state. If biology point of view, chemical reactions should not, and here within the body chemical reactions are taking place. Why chemical reactions are taking place means not to come towards the equilibrium state. One point, suppose if living organisms chemical reactions reach to the equilibrium state means at the time that one equals to the death. Nalla save pannikonga. Ipo living organisms chemical reactions reach to the equilibrium means that one 100% equals to the death. That's why in our body chemical reactions are taking place not to go towards the equilibrium state. Point purida. That's why here we have written one statement. Once you see, hence hence the living state is a non-equilibrium steady state or a non-equilibrium. Point purida. Ipo living state right panambodhu we have to remember this one as non-equilibrium. Suppose here living organisms chemical reactions reach to the equilibrium means that one is leads to the indirectly death. So that's why here the chemical reactions in a living organisms, chemical reactions are taking place continuously and they cannot effort to reach the equilibrium. So means here all these kind of chemicals so helps not to reach the equilibrium. So technically we have to remember. We have to understand then only, so we can remember and we can analyze that information what author going to give us. Next one, steady state is able to perform work. Next one, living processes or the living process is a constant effort. So living process is a constant effort to prevent falling into the equilibrium. Once you see, so till now what is the information we have discussed, that is only there. Now living organisms, living process is a constant effort to prevent falling into the equilibrium or falling into equilibrium. Means here living organisms or living processes should not be reached or should not reach the equilibrium state. So how we can achieve this particular phenomenon means, this one is achieved by the energy input. This one is achieved by the energy input. So this one is achieved by the energy input. Means here when we will be taking, when the energy is consumed by the living organisms, at the time, what are the chemical reactions are taking place or being constantly progress in the living organisms will not reach the equilibrium state. Koncham lengthy sentence I have used, so nalla understanding pannikonga. One more time, when we will take the energy, no, at the time, the energy ulle poi, ellame chemical reactions, it will take care about all chemical reactions. You should not reach the equilibrium. Likewise, energy ulle poi, it will give warning to the chemical reactions. So thereby, all these kind of chemical reactions will not reach the equilibrium state. At the time only, we will be alive. I took a lot of time just for our understanding point of view, so don't misunderstand. Right, now metabolism provides a mechanism. One more time, metabolism provides a mechanism for the production of energy. So means here definitely we have metabolism. If you see, there are two different types of pathways we see in previous class. So what is anabolic pathway is there and catabolic pathway is there. And in anabolic pathway, if you see, there no energy is required within, and catabolism pathway here when we concentrate on there, energy will be liberated within, production of energy within. What is the point now we are understanding? Metabolism provides a mechanism for the production of energy. Hence living state and the metabolism are synonymous. Point purida, that's why living state and metabolism are synonymous, being same. If a living state is there, means definitely there metabolic activity is taking place. And one more, reversely let us come. If a metabolism processes or a metabolic activity is taking place, means body will be in a living state. And reverse, let us go. Now we are being alive, means their metabolic activity is taking place. Point purida, both sides we concentrated. So thereby living state as well as a metabolism are synonymous. So now without a mechanism there cannot be a living state. So means here 100% mechanisms, so definitely chemical mechanisms taking place continuously without any changes or without any stoppage. So that is a point I can give effectively. So now let us start to discuss the new concept on enzymes. Now let us see that this is almost, this is important, now almost all enzymes are proteins. What is the point? Almost all enzymes are proteins. So we have seen in previous video also, definitely proteins are involved in the synthesis of enzymes. So thereby almost means maximum number of or maximum type of the enzymes definitely are formed from the proteins. So there are some nucleic acids are there. There are some nucleic acids. So nucleic acids also acts as enzymes. That's why here we have written like this. So there are some nucleic acids that behave like enzymes. Ama point Puridera means here actually according to our previous knowledge point of view we have seen enzymes or catalysts and involves in or boost the rate of reactions and but will not be involved in chemical reactions we see no. Likewise here one important point to be discussed even some nucleic acids acts as or behave like enzymes. Okay, means here what are the nucleic acids behave like enzymes, no? These nucleic acids we will be considering as ribozyme. Babies, once you see here once you observe there my dear students, it is not ribosome, it is ribozyme, ZY. Ribosome, SOVC no, RIBOSOMES we say. It is spelling RIBOZYMAS, ribozyme. So means here when we will be or when we will see the term ribozyme is nothing but when nucleic acids behave like enzymes. So such kind of nucleic acids for our understanding point of view we have given a name as ribozyme. Next one, an enzyme like any protein. So an enzyme, if you see there no like any protein, so may have so has a primary structure, secondary structure and tertiary structure. So we see now the structure of a protein's point of view there primary, secondary, tertiary. Likewise we have seen there are different types of structures, isn't it? So in this particular case now you see, suppose if you take an enzyme like, so this enzyme also like any protein has primary structure, secondary structure and tertiary structure, isn't it? So means as we have seen before related to the proteins, so we have seen the structures of different structures of proteins, that is maybe or that are maybe primer or primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary we have seen. So likewise even enzymes also may have different types of structures like primary, secondary, tertiary. Point purida means here how proteins consist or proteins are having there are different types of structures, even like that enzymes also having different types of structures that are maybe primary structure, secondary structure and tertiary structure. Okay, now let us move forward. When we look at the tertiary structure, from here onwards important, listen carefully. So when we look after or when we look at tertiary structure, we will notice that. So what we will notice? The backbone of a protein chain folds upon itself. Means here we have seen a hollow woolen structure we see no. So there what is the structure we have seen? So the protein that will be the protein chain folds upon itself. So means here the backbone of the protein chain folds upon itself. So thereby the chain crisscrosses itself. So means because of the overfoldings or when these chain foldings comes one upon the other, so what is the thing we have seen? Crisscross movements or the chain we have seen the crisscross arrangement. So hence many crevices means here when the chain foldings comes one upon the another itself, so we are observing the formation of crisscross arrangement. Crisscross arrangement, so we are observing. So such kind of crisscross arrangement only finally gives some kind of crevices or pockets. See there. So because of that crisscross arrangement of chain foldings, we are observing the many crevices or we are observing the many pockets are present. Okay, so one such pocket is nothing but active site. So here what is the information till now we don't know. Enzymes are there. Enzymes, there are different type of structures are there. And tertiary structure so tertiary structure how it will be like a hollow woolen structure no. So when we have drawn that particular hollow woolen structure, that particular chain means a tertiary structure chain of foldings, so folded one upon itself or one upon the another one. So at the time, so all chain like chain links are crisscrossly arranged. crisscrossly arranged, and finally when these chains are crisscrossly arranged, this all leads to the formation of some kind of pockets or some kind of crevices. Now these crevices or pockets only now finally forms the active site, or these crevices or pockets only now we are calling as active site. Sir, then what is the use of this active site, sir? Means once you see, that is only we will study here. An active site of an enzyme, if you see there, is a creeve or a pocket which provides a binding site to the substrate. So means the substrate definitely will come and binds at the active site of an enzyme. Point புரியுது, நல்லா சேவ் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. இப்போ enzymes consist of active site, and this active site provides a binding site, or it provides a binding site to the substrate. So thereby this substrate will come and fit at the active site of an enzyme. புரியுதா? ஸோ நல்லா சேவ் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. அப்புறம் thus enzymes through their active site catalyst reactions takes place at a high rate. Or catalytic reactions taking place at a high rate. Means first of all, one substrate the substrate will go and binds at the active site of an enzyme or active site of a enzyme. So in this particular case, when this substrate will go and binds at the active site of an enzyme, so definitely that particular substrate after some time with the help of an enzyme will be changed into product. That's why here if you take now in previous video also we see A will be converted into B, so with the presence of enzyme likewise we see ipo substrate only we will take in the left side. Now that substrate if you denote it as S, so right side we can be taken as product. So thereby yes, listen carefully, yes, with the involvement of enzyme, so which one? Product formation takes place, so P formation takes place. Point புரியுதா? So likewise definitely active site on an enzyme definitely do the catalytic reactions at high rate. Now here enzyme catalyst, so means here enzymes generally acting as a catalyst only, the enzyme catalyst differ from the inorganic catalysts, having some kind of there are two different types of catalysts are there. One is enzyme catalyst and one more is inorganic catalyst. Enzyme catalyst and inorganic catalyst. So thereby by reading these two sentences or words, here one point we are understanding there, our subject point of view, two catalysts are there. One is enzyme catalyst and one more is inorganic catalyst. Now so differences are the enzyme catalyst differ from inorganic catalyst in many ways. So there are so many number of differences are there, but one major difference needs to mention. So one major difference now let us discuss in this class. Adi enna inorganic catalyst. Inorganic catalyst, listen carefully, a very effective point it is. Inorganic catalyst work effectively or efficiently at a high temperatures above the 40 degrees centigrade. Sir, then why sir our enzyme catalyst will not work sir above the 40 degrees centigrade? Means no, but inorganic catalyst can work very effectively at more than 40 degrees centigrade itself. So means they can work very effectively at even high temperature conditions also. Which one? Inorganic catalyst. Inorganic catalyst that can work very effectively at even high temperatures means this one cannot only enzyme catalyst cannot only point நல்லா சேவ் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன் however, so here one point understanding பண்ணிக்கோங்க. சார் இப்போ எல்லாமே or all type of enzyme catalyst will not work above the 40 degrees centigrade. Sir means here one exceptional point is there. one exceptional point அது என்னன்னா enzymes are isolated from the organisms who normally live under extremely high temperatures. So for example hot winds and sulfur springs are stable and retain their catalytic power even at high temperatures up to 80 degrees to 90 degrees Celsius or centigrade. Means ipo one more time I'll explain. Ipo enzyme catalyst are there and inorganic catalyst are there. So there are different types of differences are there, but in this particular case we are discussing one particular difference. In comparison of these two, inorganic catalyst can work very effectively even 40 degrees centigrade or above the 40 degrees centigrade also. Inorganic catalyst, then they can function very effectively or efficiently. So that's why here we have written that point. So thereby normal kind of enzyme catalyst cannot work very effectively at a high temperatures above the 40 degrees centigrade. Which one? Enzyme catalyst. But enzyme catalyst, some enzyme catalyst, or one example we are discussing under enzyme catalyst. No, one enzyme, it can work very effectively even once you see, even at high temperatures up to 80 degrees to 90 degrees centigrade. Point you understood. So thereby here what is the point? So that particular enzyme name in +2 you will learn. Thermus aquaticus means thermostable enzyme is there. So that one our scientists isolated from the Thermus aquaticus, one particular bacteria. So now here what is the point? Enzyme catalyst generally cannot work very effectively at a high temperatures above the 40 degrees centigrade. And inorganic catalyst, if you see there, no, these inorganic catalysts, they can work very effectively even at high temperatures above the 40 degrees centigrade. So next one, if you see there, no, generally however, enzymes isolated from the organisms who normally live under extremely high temperatures where we can see, for example, hot vents and sulfur springs. These two are best examples of high temperature conditions. And what are the organisms are present in are stable and retain their catalytic power even at a high temperatures up to 80 to 90 degrees centigrade. So means here that particular enzymes are having thermostability. Thermostability means here thermal stability means definitely they can resist the temperatures. Okay, thermostability is thus an important quality of such particular enzymes isolated from the thermophilic organisms. Means here such particular more stability enzymes that we have been isolated from the thermophilic organisms. So first of all, இது என்னன்னா இப்போ hot temperatures or hot sulfur springs ನಲ್ಲಿ, so when scientists they have been observed some kind of organisms, no, they got they amazed, means here இது என்னடா இங்க temperature is more, but even though here few organisms are surviving, so likewise they have examined, they come to know this idea, they come to know this information at the time. So from that such particular organisms they have isolated one enzyme, that particular enzyme has the more thermal stability. So later they have given a name it as tag polymerase enzyme. So that particular name I will give you by one more time in +2. So what is the importance now we are discussing? That particular enzyme, it can resist or it can work effectively even high temperature conditions at or up to 80 to 90 degrees centigrade. Because of that particular enzyme, these organisms are surviving in hot conditions. What are the organisms are surviving in a hot temperatures? No? So such kind of organisms simply we will be considering as thermophilic organisms. Okay, so this is a small information regarding living state and enzymes information. Okay, next video, so definitely I will come with another information. Until then, watch this video once or twice and try to retain the knowledge and try to gain the knowledge and try to build up your concentration in the gaining of knowledge. Take care and be safe at home.